Hi, I'm Richard.
And I'm Leslie.
And this is our camper van, Rhyd, an IH converted Renault Master, our home from home wherever we roam. So where is our journey taking us today? Let's see. Today's journey starts at Wastwater, the deepest lake in England with depths of 72 metres, which is overlooked by Scafell Pike, our goal. We're starting at the National Trust car park by the campsite and following the river route to climb 895 metres to the 978 metre summit of Scafell Pike. We did it in November and took just under 4.5 hours. So what was it like? In a word, wet. It had done nothing but rain for the few days before, although we did get the odd bright spell, but we were going to do it anyway. Initially, the path from the car park was sound going, which after the bridge eventually petered into the stone-laid step combination usually seen on these sorts of treks. I imagine it would be good in summer, but it was a bit of a mini waterfall in itself at this time of year, especially with all the rain we'd just had. But with sensible footwear, this wouldn't be a problem. It wasn't slippery, just wet. You can certainly see why this is the deepest lake in England. There's lots of water running into it, continually flowing fast. And as I say, at this time of the year, especially on the path too, which really was like a mini waterfall in places. As you can see, this is where we meant to cross the water, but with it being fast flowing and rather wide at this point, we walked a little bit further up to find somewhere safer to cross, and we crossed it in 2 or 3 sections rather than all at once. Then up the banking at the side and down to rejoin the path a little bit further up with minimal but safe detour. Once back on the path, we noticed blue sky behind us over the lake, despite the clouds still above in front, and we were hoping that the clouds might blow over to give us a view from the summit. Unfortunately, we later discovered this was not to be. As we got higher, the path became more rugged and more steps, but there were plenty of cairns along the way to mark the route. The cairns originally being memorials to the fallen from the First World War, but now subsequent wars too. By this point, we were now walking in the snow, and the route was more difficult to find, but fortunately we had footsteps from someone else to follow, confirming we were still following the right route. As the snow got deeper, we were glad of the footprints to follow. We were now well into the cloud, and the blue sky behind us no longer visible. We struggled to see each other in parts, never mind the view. My thoughts at this point were hoping that the footprints weren't going to get covered before we managed to find the route back down. But here we are, at least we made it to the top.
Hey, we've done it! I am top grandma in England!
As we were unlikely to get the view, this cloud definitely looked to be in for the day, we decided to just have a quick bite of our sandwich, put it in our pockets and eat it on the way down rather than hang around at the top. After all, we didn't want to lose that pathway down, covering our footsteps with the fresh snow that was now falling. We'd only met 2 people going up, plus another 2 at the bottom, but coming back down we met quite a lot going up as we were on our descent. Although we saw more while we were coming down, we still probably only saw a dozen people all day. But it is estimated that 100,000 people climb Scafell Pike each year, which is an average of 274 per day. Obviously not in November, most of them will do it in summer. And although advertised as unsuitable for bad weather, most people that we spoke to that day had come the same route as us, or just a couple from Seathwaite. But that will be because it is the shortest, a big consideration with failing light and shorter daylight hours. It's not the easiest. Coming from Wasdale Head is easier, but it is slightly longer than coming from the car park at Wasdale itself, although they both meet partway up and you do the same route to the top, if you can find the path, that is. As we expected for early November, we did have mixed weather. We had a lot of rain, fog, snow, driving hail and snow in our face towards the top, and it was extremely windy. We had to go around the side of the wall to shelter. The only difficult part is where you get across the river, but as long as you're prepared and have suitable equipment, then it is a good, nice walk. As you would expect, being the lowest of the three peaks, it is the quickest to do, but not the easiest. It's harder than Ben Nevis, although it's a lot shorter. It's not difficult, that said, it's just that it's not easy to see the path in places, especially nearer the top. Of the three peaks, I don't think any of them are particularly hard, Ben Nevis being the easiest, despite being the longest. But I found the Rhyd Ddu route up Snowdon the most challenging of the three that I've done. But that was down to strong winds on the day. It's all down to the weather you experience rather than the terrain itself. Although you do of course need to be able to find the path and the routes okay. Crossing the river was slightly different again from the other side, and we both found our own routes in our own comfort zone. Again, crossing where there were a few smaller streams rather than the big full one. So as long as you've got all the equipment, you're fine. But the mountain rescue do rescue a lot of people each year, and several groups from the mountain, so be prepared. This is the third time Richard has done Scafell Pike. The first time he's not had a view from the top, but the other two were in October. One from Wasdale Head, slightly further up from where we started today, slightly longer but easier, and the other from Scafell, which was longer and the hardest of the three, and it was more of a scramble in parts. For England's highest mountain, I was quite surprised how quick we did it. We've done a lot of other walks, including the Yorkshire Three Peaks, which seemed to be longer and more drawn out. Even though it wasn't the best of weather, we still had an enjoyable day, despite being wet when we got back. But the advantage of being in a van is we could have a hot shower and get changed into something warm straight away, and enjoy a nice warm drink. So, thanks for watching. Hope this has been useful. I'm Leslie and I'm still Youngatart. So long for now. See you soon.